Launch and penetration order, sir.
So you say these alerts happen half a dozen times a month.
How about that? Not usually so dramatic. We rarely get to the fail-safe point.
Well, I'd be a nervous wreck.
Well, so would I if I had to make a speech in Congress.
Oh, yeah?
General Bogan, that blip up there at 10 o'clock is headed into Russia.
And that is why some people advocate a return to manned bombers for a first-strike retaliation rather than missiles. They are slower and therefore give more time for evaluation and analysis. The rockets have the defects of their virtues. They are too quick. They allow too little time for thought. Now, I find this point of view old-fashioned by the very nature of modern warfare.
Put that on full projection.
Give me the president.
I'm Buck, the translator. They sent me. I see your identification, sir. Mr. Buck, it says you have a small scar on your left wrist. Can I see it, please? Oh, yeah. Dog bit me when I was a kid. Yes, sir.
How's your Russian today?
Fine, sir. I guess.
Good. We may need it. Hang on, Jenny. It's a long way down. Well, Joe, nothing leaks to the newspapers. Nothing. Not yet, anyway. Well, the vice president, tell him what's up. You don't know what to do. On second thought, we'd better tell the press something. Had Joe tell him it's urgent, but not a boom breakers so far. And off the record, no leaks. Any leaks on this, the guy in his paper are dead now and forever. You got that?
I'll tell Joe in just those words.
Now then, who's at the Pentagon briefing today? I'll let them in on this.
Secretary of Defense, Chiefs of Staff, that Professor Groteshella that likes so much, he's giving a lecture.
Is Blackie there?
There's a general Black.
That's Blackie. I'm glad he's there. We went to college together. Got a brain, says what he thinks. Okay, Johnny, that's all for now. Get to work. And tell him to turn up the air conditioning. It's hot as hell down here. Or far enough down, maybe it is hell. You know what's happened, Buck?
No, sir.
One of our Vindicator groups got a wrong signal. Took off to bomb Moscow. Stop it. Easier said than done. But we've got a little time, not much, but a little, so relax.
Easier said than done, sir.
If things get really hot, I might have to use the direct phone of the Kremlin. That's where you'll come in. But if we don't get that far. I hope not, sir.
General Bogan from Omaha, sir.
Put him on.
Group 6 is now about 200 miles past failsafe, Mr. President. We still can't make contact.
You know what went wrong?
No, sir, we do not.
Why can't you raise it by radio?
We don't know for sure, sir. We've tried all frequencies. We just can't make contact.
Why?
I don't know. We had a flash on the board just before it happened, and the fourth indicator blew out at the same time. The Russians may be jamming their reception with some new device we know nothing about.
Why would they do that? Is it customary?
No, sir, but it's possible.
In other words, it's possible the fail-safe mechanism might be giving them a go signal at the same time they can't reach you for positive confirmation.
It's possible. It's not probable, but...
Is it possible?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, if we do regain radio contact, will the bombers respond to an order to return?
If we can reach them within the next 5 minutes. After that, their orders are to disregard any verbal command.
I talk to them, even from me?
Your voice can be imitated by the enemy, sir. Our men have been drilled in that. Once they're beyond a certain point, they're not to trust any verbal transmission.
What's our next step, then, General, if we follow standard procedure?
We already have fighter planes in the air. The next step would be to order the fighters after the bombers to raise them visually and divert them from their course.
But if the bombers don't respond, then what?
The fighters would be ordered to shoot them down.
Who gives that order?
You do, sir.
Thank you, General. I'll be back here. Get me Mr. Swenson in the Pentagon.
Swenson here.
Mr. Secretary, I have a decision to make. It's my decision, and I'll make it, but I want the advice of you and your people, and I need it fast.
The President says he may have to order our fighters to shoot down Group 6. He wants our opinion.
I oppose it, sir, on the grounds that it's premature. Our planes have not yet reached Soviet territory. They're still hundreds of miles away. We've got to do it, and fast, right now, before it's too late.
Might be too late anyway. Those fighters swung away from the bombers when they got the all clear. They've been flying in opposite directions.
But they're faster than the Vindicators.
Not that much faster. I'm not sure they can catch up in time.
They can go to afterburners. That'll increase their speed.
And use up their fuel. We'll never be able to get back. We'll go down in the ocean.
We've got to try it.
Suppose they do catch up. Why do they have to attack? Can't they signal? Our men have been trained to expect anything from the enemy, even sending up his own fighter planes disguised as ours.
They're good men. We've seen to that. If their orders are attacked, the only way you're going to stop them is to shoot them down.
We've got no alternative. This minute, the Russians are watching their boards, trying to figure out what we're up to. If we can't convince them it's an accident which we're trying to correct by any means, we're going to have something in our hands that nobody bargained for. And only a lunatic once.
Mr. President, it is our opinion that the fighters should be ordered in. Thank you. General Bogan, please.
Yes, Mr. President.
The fighters are to overtake the Vindicators and, if necessary, shoot them down.
Sir, it will be necessary.
I know that, General. Order them in.
Colonel, order the fighters to attack Group 6. Have a prayer of catching, sir. That is an order.
It's the Arctic Ocean. They'll go down in general. They'll freeze to death before they get their chutes off.
Colonel, get on the horn and give that order.
Every second you wait takes them farther away.
Killing them, General, when they haven't got a chance.
This is Fighter Direction. We are in voice communication with Tangle Able 1. You can talk to them on Channel 7, single sideband.
I tell them in code or in the clear.
In the clear.
Tangle Able 1, this is Colonel Cassio in Ultimate 1.
This is Tangle Able 1. I read you 555.
Group 6 has flown through the failsafe point and is on an attack course towards Moscow. It is a mistake. Repeat, it is a mistake. Go to afterburners and overtake and attack Group 6.
Right. Go to afterburners and overtake and attack Group 6. You all hear that order? Overtake the Vindicators? What are they kidding? All we got is a 50-mile-an-hour air jump, and they're halfway to Moscow already. You heard the man. We go to afterburners. And use what to run this airplane? Spit? By the time we run out of gas, they'll only be 1,000 miles away. Man, that's organization. All right, cut the chatter. We're wasting time. On the mark, go to afterburners. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
Will I alert Air Sea Rescue, sir?
No. No point. Bring up the fighters on the board in tight scale.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. But let's hope this all blows over in the next few minutes. But if it doesn't, we're going to get to know each other very well. I want you to listen to every conversation I have. Try to get to know how I think. I'm in handy. Yes. General Bogan sound to you? Sir? You sound worried, confident, scared?
Well, not scared. A little worried, I guess.
Bogan is an old-time flyer, but he's not afraid of all this new equipment. If he's worried, I'm worried. You know Mr. Swenson, Secretary of Defense? I've read about it, sir. You won't be able to tell much from his voice. He's hard as a rock. But we listen to him, Buck. If he gives advice, we take it.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
When you put the war conference room at the Pentagon and General Bogan in Omaha on the conference line with me.
Yes, sir. Ready, sir.
Mr. Swenson.
Yes, Mr. President.
If our fighters have to shoot down the Vindicators, the worst is over. For us, anyway. I want your people now to consider what we do if they can't shoot them down. I'm putting on the intercom so everything you say can be heard here and in Omaha. General Bogan has Mr. Knapp of Amalgamated Electronics and Congressman Raskob with him. They have my permission to listen in, say anything they want.
Right, sir. Gentlemen, we've got 4 questions to answer, not a hell of a lot of time. First, what happened? Second, what do we do about it? Third, what are the Russians going to think of all this? And fourth, what are they going to do about it? Please keep the discussion to those points.
Mechanical failure. That's what happened.
A double mechanical failure? Do you know the odds against that, sir?
Maybe someone went berserk.
It doesn't matter. Something failed. A man, a machine. It was bound to happen that did. Maybe we'll never know why or what. It doesn't matter now.
Mr. Secretary.
Yes, General Bogan.
Mr. Knapp here knows as much about electronic gear as anyone. He'd like to say something.
The more complex an electronic system gets, the more accident-prone it is. Sooner or later, it breaks down.
What breaks down?
A transistor blows, a condenser burns out. Sometimes they just get tired, like people.
Mr. Knapp overlooks one factor. The machines are supervised by humans. Even if the machine fails, the human being can always correct the mistake.
I wish you were right. The fact is, the machines work so fast. They are so intricate. The mistakes they make are so subtle that very often a human being just can't know whether a machine is lying or telling the truth.
Or maybe this time there wasn't any failure. Maybe the Russians have come up with a way to mask the real position of Group 6. Maybe Group 6 is flying back to the States right this minute.
And what's on the board? Northern Lights?
Maybe a group of Soviet planes up there for just that reason, to convince us that we've accidentally launched a bomber group against them.
For what purpose?
As an excuse to retaliate.
If they wanted to do that, they wouldn't need an excuse. They'd simply attack.
This way, they've made us commit a group of our fighter planes, our first line of defense. Made us kill our own men.
I disagree with Colonel Cassio's analysis. I think we have to assume that it is our accident and not their plan.
I go along with you, General.
Yes, Saunders? The report on what the Russians have in the air, sir. 7 bomber groups. Is that unusual? No, that's normal for them. About like us.
What kind of course are they on?
Normal patrol patterns inside their own borders. They do have a large number of fighters in the air, sir. Abnormally large. Almost half their fighter strength.
They're having the same problem with Group 6 that we have with the UFO. They don't know what it is, why it's there, or who it belongs to.
My guess is that they know all about Group 6. They saw it fly to the failsafe point. They've seen that happen plenty of times. They know the procedure. So far, no sweat.
And when they saw it fly past,
They send up their fighter planes, just in case. I don't think they'll take any action unless that border is crossed.
Agreed. That puts it up to the fighters.
In my opinion, they will take no action at all.
They're not going to just sit there, Professor.
I think if our bombers get through, the Russians will surrender.
who's this professor, Mr. Secretary? What's he doing there?
Professor Gorbachev is a civilian advisor to the Pentagon, General. Will you explain your statement, Professor?
The Russian aim is to dominate the world. They think that communism must succeed eventually if the Soviet Union is left reasonably intact. They know that a war would leave the Soviet Union utterly destroyed. Therefore, they would surrender.
But suppose they feel they can knock us off first.
They know we might have a doomsday system. Missiles that will go into action days, even weeks after a war is over, and destroy an enemy even after that enemy has already destroyed us.
Maybe they think that even capitalists aren't that insane to want to kill after they themselves have been killed.
These are Marxist fanatics, not normal people. They do not reason the way you reason, General Black. They are not motivated by human emotions such as rage and pity. They are calculating machines. They will look at the balance sheet and they will see they cannot win.
Then you suggest doing what?
Nothing.
Nothing.
The Russians will surrender and the threat of communism will be over forever.
That's a lot of hogwash. Don't kid yourself. There'll be Russian generals who will react just as I would. The best defense is a good offense. They see trouble coming up, take my word for it, they'll attack, and they won't give a damn what Marx said.
Mr. Secretary, I am convinced that the moment the Russians know bombs will fall on Moscow, they will surrender. They know that whatever they do then, they cannot escape destruction. Don't you see, sir, this is our chance. We never would have made the first move deliberately, but Group 6 has made it for us, by accident. And we must take advantage of it. History demands it. We must advise the president not to recall those planes.
They're flaming out.
He's firing anyway.
There goes number 2.